Hi folks, how we all doing? My apologies for the lack of activity in this space over the last while. Um, just as I'm sure you understand that things are still fairly raw, number one, and chaotic, number two, following Dad's passing on the 10th of June, but we're slowly but surely getting things back on the road again, thank God. And while I may not have an absolute pile of stuff for this evening's video, by way of fresh content, what I can tell you is that over the last week or 10 days, I have recorded a fair bit of film. So, what you will see hereafter has been recorded over the last week or 10 days ago, as I said. The one thing I will say, as regards a bit of fresh news, I took delivery earlier on today. I hope you'll be able to see this, and it would help if I turn it this way. I took delivery of this box of sandpaper pads. Now, what they are basically is like little sponges. Well, I think you can actually see in the box. I didn't realise it actually said it on the box that sand and sponges. Now they're just easier for me to use than the actual piece of sandpaper. Now, don't get me wrong, I can use them and have done and probably will do again. And indeed, I now have an electric sander as well, which often gets called into play as well. But I just find the squares of sandpaper easier to use, as they're not inclined to slip out of my hand when I'm trying to work with them, as many of you will now know, I'm sure, as part of my disability, if you want to put it that way. I only have to use one hand, so accomplishing certain tasks can be a little bit tricky. So, as regards sanding, the two best options for me are either the electric one or the sand and squares. So that is generally why I stick to the squares for as long as I can get them. Also, in today's delivery from Amazon, and believe you me, they nearly are becoming daily at this stage, I received these little things here. Now, if Susie was here, I would actually be able to take them out of paper, but what they are is seat covers for the armrests of the wheelchairs, because I don't know how much or if any of you out there have experience of either being in a wheelchair or being around one, but between getting in and out of vehicles and going in and out doorways that are either just about wide enough or actually not wide enough at all. The armrests are one part of the wheelchair that can get absolutely battered from time to time. and are always the first part of the wheelchair generally to need replacing, and in fact they can indeed need replacing several times a year, depending on what activities one is getting up to, or where we're travelling to, or whatever the case may be. Now, I, as I'm sure I may have mentioned at some point in some of the videos, I actually reside in a granny flat at the side of the family home, and I would have used my own entrance for the first 15 years of being in my own accommodation, if you want to call it that. But when a certain golden Labrador called Buddy arrived on the scene in 2011, the porch, which was my doorway, sort of became his bedroom, for want of a better way of describing it. So I actually took to going in and out the door of the original family home, and it is actually that narrow that my occupational therapist actually took the armrest off one side of the wheelchair, because if she didn't, there's no way I would have got into the house at all. So with the result that while the left side was alright, the right side was continually getting battered going in and out the back door. So having looked around through the help board first of all, and then just various spots around Ireland for wheelchair seat covers, nothing of any sort of use could be found. So in keeping with what is, I will have to admit at this stage, a bit of an addiction to online shopping. Susie found these shorter seat covers, which, as far as I can gather, must have been specifically designed for either car seats or wheelchair seats or whatever, but they certainly they're a big improvement on the chopped up way the chair used to look. Now, the one thing I will say is that they don't seem to last very long, but they're that reasonably priced on Amazon that, look, if you have to replace them every couple of weeks or a couple of months, so be it. Elsewhere in this video, you will see me doing more work on the little memorial project I undertook when Buddy the Labrador sadly went over the Rainbow Bridge, as they say. And also in today's video, you will see a little bit of footage of neighbours and friends of ours, the Clark family, helping me fulfill Dad's final wish by getting her a bit of hay made. And last but by no means least, also in the video, we have the product, or at least the beginning of the product, of me having a rummage in one of the sheds here in the yard and finding bits and pieces of various tools and that he had hidden away, that I think most of us didn't even know about, one of which uh, would was a handheld sickle. Now, it actually doesn't look the same shape as a sickle, but it could be what I would say back in the day was called a pruning knife or something like that. Along the lines of a slash hook or a sickle, but it has a straight blade in it. Now, it had never even been taken out of its scabbard, but it was rusty, and as after I put my tried and trusted uh, remedy for rust of soaking it in WD 40, and I must admit soaking my trousers in it as well, and then giving it a thorough going over with sandpaper. There's a small little clip of my good self starting to hack away at the cursed ivy, which had started to invade far too much of the garden. Now, any of it is too much, but it had really sort of lost run of itself. So I've been hacking at that for a while with this sickle, but it may, beginning that particular project, may actually lead to some more unboxings, and some rather exciting unboxings to come in the days and weeks ahead. So please stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a catch up, and I will talk to you all soon, please God. Right, folks, how we all doing? Welcome back. Sunday afternoon, so as any of you that have been uh, knocking around Boiling Talk Sport, into the website or the YouTube channel will know by now, Sunday generally means shed day. So, as I'm sure some of, or most of you will know by now, I buried my father almost a fortnight ago now, and believe me, it's nearly impossible to believe that it is a fortnight ago already, but it'll be actually 3 weeks next Thursday since he left us. So I will be brutally honest and say this is actually the first day I have come back into the workshop, because we had furniture stored in here and all manner of stuff stored in here while we were waking Dad at home. For viewers outside of Ireland, waking basically means that after he passed, we brought his remains home to repose at home for 2 nights before the funeral. So once all that was done, we got all the furniture out of my workshop, and here we are back at it again. Before Dad died, some of you will have seen that I decided, well, I'll go back a bit and say that the week before Dad died, my golden Labrador Buddy actually dropped dead as well, and I remain firmly convinced that the two of them had a package deal done between each other. You go first and have a look around, and I'll go up after you. And Dad passed away about 10 days later. So after Buddy died, what I said I would do is I was originally going to make a bit of a cross and put it over the grave where we have him buried in the garden, but purely on a whim, I decided to go in a completely different direction, and I decided I would carve his four paw prints, not literally, of course, but four grooves to represent his four paw prints into a bit of wood and mount it on something. And between one thing and another, we've ended up making it a key rack, very similar to the one that I made when I was in first year in school. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it out in what we call Buddy's bedroom and leave it out there for the carers to hang their keys on when they're coming in the morning.
Say hi to Elaine.
Hello, dear.
Giving her a heart attack.